I've been practicing for 17 years now? 18. 18 years. You know you've been practicing for a while when you have to like count backwards. Yeah, so I've been practicing for 18 years. Yeah, so my aunt was an occupational therapy assistant, and she talked about doing different adaptive devices for people on like how to put their shoes on and how to uh, clean themselves and stuff like that. So I thought that sounded kind of cool. So I volunteered at a hand clinic, and I treated hands all day. And I kind of looked down the hall. It was like a multidisciplinary place in Western Maryland. I kind of looked down the hall and saw like a whole bunch of other things going on. So I kind of wandered down that way and saw these healthcare providers providing care for people that have had strokes, brain injuries, but also people that had back pain, shoulder pain, recovering from surgery. And just being able to diversify my day is what really spoke to me, being able to help a lot of people through a bunch of different situations. I'd been a staff PT for a while, and I was just ready to take the next step in my career, which is usually taking an executive position, like a management position. And I did have a great opportunity to start a practice. Um, I was lucky enough to start off with a salary, but I had to do everything. I was the front desk manager. I was verifying insurances. I was scheduling patients. I was treating the patients. I was doing all of the marketing. So I had to do that all myself. And it was a great educational experience because I learned how to do everything. But more importantly, it kind of taught me where it would have been nice to have support. And over time, the clinic grew. And part of the opportunity was that I was going to be able to partner into that business. But when that time came, the opportunity didn't, let's just say, fulfill itself. And I was kind of unceremoniously let go of a place that I started from scratch. And that that got me. Um, I had built relationships with patients for years and years, and I didn't get to say goodbye to them, to their families. I mean, these were people that were in and out of my life for extended periods of time for years and years. And I was just not allowed to say anything to them. I'd hired employees straight out of school. Some of them were my students. And I didn't really get a chance to say goodbye to them. And I feel like the worst part about it was everything was just over instantly. And this was a place that I'd started from scratch. And now I just had literally nothing to show for it. And it gave me a mission in my own personal business to not only provide the support that I felt that I could have really used, but also to make sure that something like that never happens to anyone again. I think the biggest thing for the path to ownership is being able to have that support. Starting a clinic from scratch was incredibly difficult, and being able to take care of a lot of the business side of things for therapists, because it's really scary. You don't have the financial like means and backing to really start your own practice, and that can become very, very scary. We want to make sure that therapists didn't have to worry about money. They didn't have to really learn a whole lot of marketing right off the bat and basically reinvent the wheel. We wanted to really be able to come in and help people not only start their own practice where they could treat exactly how they wanted to, but more importantly, not have the fear of the money and the business side of it, that we're going to help and support with that and help mentor you along the way so that over a set period of time, once you're starting to feel more comfortable with the starting of the clinic and getting your patient flow down, hiring employees, when you're ready to take ownership, we have it guaranteed in the contract that you're going to get a certain percentage of equity in that clinic after a period of time. So it's guaranteed. And I think that's the biggest thing, is we wanted to make sure that you had the support and that you got a piece of the thing that you build. Because whenever you start a business, it's your baby. And starting your own clinic, it's also your baby. And we want to make sure that someone couldn't just come in and rip your baby away from you, right? That you were always going to be able to be that parent, so to speak. Yeah, well, one of the biggest things is the guaranteed equity. A lot of people can have profit sharing, but they never really get a piece of the business. And we want to make sure that you can get a piece of the clinic up to a pretty high percentage, and that it will always be a piece of you. Even if, say, a person comes in and opens up one clinic, we will support them in helping other clinics. And once you're a partner in one, you're allowed to be partners in other ones and help to continue to build with us. And I think that's the biggest thing, is I don't think that anybody works for me. I think that people work with me and with us, and we work together to build everything. I really try and be there to support all of the clinic directors. I think that one of the hardest things, especially in a lot of the private equity firms that do this, is the support that you get is all about the business. This is how you bill. This is how you make the most amount of profit. This is how much money per square foot that you should be making. This is the max cap of what you should be paying people, and how to dictate the number of patients seen. One of the main reasons that I started my own company is because I was at a staff meeting where an owner specifically said, we have no moral or ethical obligation to treat people. And if you look at our professional organization, it specifically refutes that statement. And I think whenever someone starts to take over a business, they can get lost in the money. And I want to be able to make sure that everybody coming in that I'm working with, they don't have to worry about that part. They have to worry about getting the best outcomes and providing the best possible care for those patients. With that, the money will take care of itself. So we would like to continue the culture that we have, and we have a specific mentorship program for all of the clinical directors. That to become a clinical director, there's an interview process where we just go out to lunch and hang out, get to know each other, make sure that we're a right fit for everybody involved. We're not opening up clinics for the sake of opening up clinics. We want to be able to open up clinics within our culture and our core values, and we want to make sure that everybody is on board with that. After our interview process with all of the directors and with myself, we then help the person find a location, help with the lease and negotiating of that, and we take care of a lot of that. Again, it's all about that support and making sure that it's available, not just from me, but from all of the clinical directors. So once you come in, we get a contract signed that gives you a guaranteed path to ownership, and then you get to build the clinic. We have the mentorship program set up in 3 specific steps, where we first help you just with the building and opening of the clinic. This is how you get more patients. These are the feelings that you're going to be having for the first few months, the first year, the first couple of years. And we kind of go through that. This is kind of what we've seen. We've been through this, and this is going to be your emotional roller coaster. And we're going to be here when you have that first time where your patient numbers drop. We're going to be here when your revenue isn't what you thought it was going to be. We're going to be there if you have something that you really want to celebrate. You don't really know how to get it out there, and because you don't want to necessarily look like you're boasting, right? So we have all of that set up in our training program, and I'm really proud of all of the directors that have helped us develop the program. This wasn't just something that I came up with. We came up with this together with all of our shared experiences of opening up clinics.